All right, let's play this clip from Fox and Friends. They're so excited. Donald Trump says we're going to take a look at it for the first time ever.
Is the fact that he wants everything looked at. I can't imagine who wouldn't want that. Americans agree.
The Fox News poll is it's obvious who we like, we're all excited about him. How wonderful is it that we might not have to worry about our children with autism or our kids with, developing cancer, or, it's wonderful that he wants to clean up our foods. Our foods in Europe, when we go to Europe, we can eat pasta, we can eat pizza, we don't gain any weight. I know you walk a lot, but you don't gain weight, you feel fresh, you feel clean, you come back here, you start eating pasta and you gain weight immediately again. So there's something wrong with our foods. It's the pesticides, the chemicals. We want all of that out. We're excited that he's a leader. He's very knowledgeable. He has said he's going to give you choice. He's not going to take away vaccines. Everyone's not going to get polio. He said if you want a vaccine, you can vaccinate your kids, but I'm giving you choice. And he says he's going to be transparent. And Tim Scott.
I don't know what she's talking about Europe. If you're in Europe and you're having pasta and wine all the time, I guarantee you're coming back like 5 pounds heavier. But
this is a common thing people talk about, going to Europe and not feeling like crap when you eat food all the time. And I think it is, if there is something real going on there, one, it's probably you're a little bit more active.
First of all, the portions are significantly smaller.
But also, I know for a fact, I know somebody who has an allergy to a thing called carrageenan, which is like a seaweed-based product that's put in a lot of things. If you look into the science of it, the industry says there's nothing really a problem with it. Certain people say there might be some, but definitely with the person I know, they eat something with carrageenan in it, they're going to have an allergic reaction.
And I'm sorry.
The EU bans that sort of stuff, and they ban stuff like that way more than we do in America here.
And the way that Ainsley Earhart's even speaking about autism is frankly a bit offensive. Like, we don't have to worry about our children having autism. And I know that autism in its most severe form can be a real burden, right? But I think about someone like Greta Thunberg, who has autism or is on the autism spectrum, and she's spoken about this publicly, about how it gave her this sense of purpose and how she couldn't compartmentalize what society was telling her how she should consume and what she knew what was happening to the planet. And as a child, it put her into a depression and something like that. And the fact that she sees the world in a different way, in that way, I think is such a strength and such a beautiful part of the way humanity shows itself. People having different perspectives and different interests, and maybe it's more intense than the other one. And this is not to say that if you have a child that has autism in a severe case, that's not difficult for the family. It's incredibly difficult. But the way that she speaks about it, we're not going to have to worry about it. Don't worry about that. I think that that's offensive to a lot of people in this country.
It's also just sort of like a fantasy land.
Right.
I mean, it's just sort of like the idea that suddenly, it's all this weird magical thinking. Incidentally, Europe uses pesticides. Right. And certainly there are things that they outlaw in their food supply. And I'm happy to have greater government regulation in pursuit of our health, so that we are not, outsourcing essentially the cost to society. But incidentally, as long as we're talking about outsourcing the costs to society, there's a reason why you need mandated vaccinations.
Yeah.
Because some people, particularly the most vulnerable, cannot survive even with a vaccination, or are able to have a vaccination and must live amongst people who could be spreading things around like polio or hepatitis or whatever it is as kids. Bob's in Spain. Europe here, our foods have a lot fewer preservatives and chemicals. Pretty sure that doesn't apply to regular pasta. What the hell are you putting in your spaghetti? Sam's right. It's mostly the portions.
I'm getting so hungry talking about pasta like this.
But this is just sort of how giddy she is about.
She's faking it. They're performing.
I actually think she is not faking it. I think she's that dumb.
She may be dumb. I mean, isn't that Sean Hannity's girlfriend?
I don't say this about everybody on that network.
I mean, I remember calling her Ainsley Airhead when she first came onto the scene.
But yeah, she really, honestly,
only I get to call her that. Hey.
She's impressively not good.
Wonder if she still is with Sean Hannity.
Oh, I'm sure. Hey, with Trump's inauguration coming up, we're already seeing what the next 4 years will look like. His senior campaign official threatened Pennsylvania election workers with jail time for counting mail-in ballots with technical errors like missing dates. The real issue with that? Only one left-leaning outlet has covered this story, leaving Trump's base room to dominate the narrative. This isn't just about Pennsylvania. It's a preview of the tactics we're going to see for the next 4 years, so we can't afford not to pay attention. That's why I've been a longtime partner with Ground News. It's an independent app and website that shows us how important stories shaping our lives get covered or ignored across the political spectrum. Plus, it gives context on why they might be missing from our feeds in the first place. For those of you feeling politically burnt out, Ground News makes it easy to stay informed without feeling overwhelmed. Their daily briefings give you a quick, factual breakdowns of the day's biggest stories from every angle. They are also knocking down the price of their top-tier Vantage plan to under $5 a month for our listeners. Just go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to subscribe. It's their biggest discount of the year. And maybe even gift one to someone you know. By supporting Ground News, you're not just supporting my channel, you're ensuring independent voices don't disappear. Because what's happening in Pennsylvania is a warning. If we don't push back now, the next election is going to be even harder. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.